Ross and Rachel are one of the most iconic couples in TV history, but Rachel shouldn't have gotten off that plane in the finale. I'm not alone in thinking this. At the time, most of us were just thrilled that our favorite will they won't they couple finally got what we perceived to be a happy ending. I mean, at the time I was only in middle school, but it was a big deal. Unfortunately, time and perspective have completely shattered my idealized childhood view of the show. Because the truth is, it's not all that happy. When we first meet Rachel, she's a lost soul. She doesn't know what she wants in life. She doesn't know where she's going. She has no goals, no direction. She's just a spoiled brat that's been living off her daddy's money, and she's never had a job until she became a waitress. And she's a terrible waitress.
Rachel, sweetheart. You're a terrible, terrible waitress.
In the show, we watch her make the bold decision to walk away from a safe future with a boring husband that she probably couldn't love for something new and something exciting. It's so completely disheartening to watch Rachel walk away from everything that she has worked so hard to earn and to build for herself, for a man that doesn't even respect her. Rachel is arguably one of the most impressive characters in the entire series. She is definitely the one with the most growth from the beginning of the series to the finale. She developed a work ethic. She became a semi-responsible adult. She learned how to manage her life and her money. And she learned that her hard work would take her far. Ultimately, she became self-reliant, which is a complete 180 from the young woman that we first met. Not only that, but she built herself an impressive career. Probably one of the most impressive out of all of the friends. What she basically did was took her very expensive hobby of shopping and clothing and turned it into a career in high-end fashion. I mean, damn! She is a boss-ass bitch. Throughout the series, she had the opportunity to explore her own sexuality and find new confidence. She said it herself, Barry was boring. So she went out and had fun. She learned what she liked. She even jumped into a purely sexual relationship because why not? And there was even the adventure with a younger man. Remember Tag? Her exploration allowed her to go out and figure out what she wanted out of relationships. And then she went and searched for it. On top of everything, she became a mother. But not only was she a loving and devoted mother, but she also balanced her career with raising her daughter. She is a role model for modern women who want it all. Because guess what? We can have it all. She didn't let anybody put her in a box, even when they wanted to. She even gained healthy, strong, platonic relationships with both male and female. And we rarely ever see strong and healthy relationships between women on TV, let alone that men and women can be friends. Enter Ross Geller. Ross didn't deserve Rachel. And he proved that time and time again throughout the entire run of the series. Let's break it down. Ross has been obsessed with Rachel since they were kids. He's placed her up on this pedestal because to him, she is perfect. She is the dream. But she could never measure up to these expectations that he's built in his mind. He has this idealized image of what she is and what their relationship should be. So when she even strays the tiniest bit from this preconceived image that he has of who they are together, he completely loses his shit.
Ross, you have planned out the next 20 years of our lives. We've been dating for 6 weeks.
Oh, come on.
His attraction to her is superficial at best, based purely on what she means in his life as a status symbol. Even before he has the chance to date her, he acts as though he has some sort of claim over her. And when he actually does have the chance to date her, he makes a fucking pro and con list on whether or not he should. I mean, this is his dream girl. This is the girl that he has waited his entire life for. And he's listing her every flaw instead of seizing the opportunity. But all throughout their on-again, off-again relationship, he's condescending and insulting. Not only towards her, but anybody she happens to be dating, have slept with, or has a passing friendship with. And it doesn't even matter if he is dating somebody else at the time. He still finds a way to step into her relationships because he hates the idea that she is no longer available to him. Rachel's own dreams and goals factor very little into the future that Ross has planned for them. In fact, they're in direct violation of everything that he has mapped out in his head. And he does everything that he possibly can to thwart her progress. He's threatened by her growing independence. In the beginning of the series, she needed him. She needed his help to find out how to deal with everyday life. She struggled with the basics. But once she found her footing, she took off running for a better and brighter future. And he hates that. He hates that her budding career takes focus off of him.
Ross, what do you want from me? You want me to quit my job so you can feel like you have a girlfriend?
And he has no respect whatsoever for her career, even openly belittling it, or attacking her work relationships, because he needs to be the only man in her life. So when she's offered her dream job in Paris working for Louis Vuitton, it's the opportunity of a lifetime. And the next logical step in her career, seeing as she's gotten everything she possibly could out of her old job. She has worked her way up the ranks, one crappy job at a time. It's a real riches to rags to happiness story. And Ross, he completely loses his shit. Who cares that she's pursuing her own independence and happiness when she's not fulfilling him? Ross even runs around behind her back to find her a job in New York. He puts his feelings first instead of compromising. He easily could have followed her. He refuses to make any sacrifices for her, instead expecting her to make them all. And she does. Time and time again, Ross has prevented Rachel from fulfilling her own happiness and dreams in favor of his own. But when Emily and Ross are getting married, Rachel actually takes a step back. She realizes that what she's doing is selfish, and she allows him to move forward. She respects his decision, which is something that Ross has never given her the benefit of a single day in his life. She waits until his marriage has already completely fallen apart before she confesses her feelings to him. It's an ironic parallel between the series finale and his rush to the airport, and really demonstrates the unequal nature of their relationship, because Ross has always seen Rachel as a possession. Ross makes the classic cliche trope of the mad dash to the airport that we've seen a million times over. Only it doesn't go as expected because she still gets on that plane. But he fully expected in that moment for her to drop everything and sacrifice her future for him because he made this grand romantic gesture. And in the end, she does, because she shows up at his apartment later. It's the happy ending that audiences everywhere were expecting and hoping for. Or is it? When you take a step back and really look at their relationship, you notice one thing. Rachel Green deserved better. Her series finale effectively prevented her from achieving her happily ever after when she aborted taking the biggest step forward in her life for a guy. And a guy that definitely didn't deserve her.
It's like all of my life, everyone has always told me, you're a shoe. You're a shoe, you're a shoe, you're a shoe. And then today I just stopped and I said, what if I don't want to be a shoe?